Please, everyone gather round. I've got an announcement to make. Down the trumpets. Listen closely. A long, long time ago was a girl named Lindsay Lohan.
Hi, this is... Hi, hello. I said that as if I was calling you on the phone. This is Wimpy. We Improv makes podcast for you with your host, Jake Jabor. That is me. And this is episode 2. If you're checking out episode 2, it means you liked episode 1, or you just want to check out the interview with Sabrina Manansala from the Philippines, or the improv from the wonderful, exceptional team, Old Milk. But hopefully it's a combination of those. Or hopefully you came from one, but will stay for all. So for episode 2, no time has passed since I recorded the introduction for episode 1. Still sitting on my couch and recalling that in episode 1, I gave you the who, what, and why, but not the where. And the where is Los Angeles, is in my apartment, on my couch, or the podcast episodes were recorded at the Wee Space, where we have shows Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and Saturday nights. And maybe more nights, depending on when you listen to this, months down the road. So if you're in Los Angeles, come check out a show, 6075 Franklin Avenue, Suite 70, 90028. We are in the giant teal apartment building in the basement on the east side of the building. Head down the stairs. Don't go in the main entrance. There's a little wee sign there. Smells like a basement, as I'm told. And we'll be happy to see you. So, what are we talking about today? Well, I thought I would talk about the 4 tools for improv heightening. This is something that I've been developing a little bit. It is in my book, Elevator Farts, Exercises, Offers, and Notes of Encouragement for Improvising. I wonder if these plugs are annoying. They might be, but at least they're not for LegalZoom or Doc Clock or whatever that one is, Casper, or Bombas, or whatever else. All this content is brought to you by We Improv. So pick up my book at weimprov.org or Barnes & Noble or Amazon.com, available in paperback and digital. And if you've read it, leave a review. That would be great. All right, where was I? 4 tools of improv heightening. So in the book, 4 tools I discuss are physicality, action, dialogue, and emotion. Shout out to Ben Castle, who said if I change dialogue to verbalize, I can spell the word pave as an acronym, or I can spell the word vape. So that's what I've been doing. My book is already outdated. So let's define those tools. Physicality is how you stand on stage. Are you slouched? Are you in the corner? Are you standing next to somebody? Are you lying down? Are you standing with the Superman pose? Do you have your arms crossed? It's your nonverbal communication through physicality. Action. What are you doing on stage? Are you filling an ice cube tray? Are you mowing the lawn? Are you playing checkers? Are you arm wrestling? Are you connecting a bunch of threads on a bulletin board to figure out who a killer is? Dialogue or verbalize is what you're saying. What specifics are you using? How are you talking about things? What examples are you giving? Are you planning? Are you recalling past incidents? And E is emotion. How is your character feeling? Happy? Are you sad? Are you disgruntled? Are you being arrogant? Are you horny? Those are your emotions. I don't know if horny is an emotion. But what I've been trying to teach people lately is that's how you can heighten a scene. I wanted to talk about this today because in my interview with Sabrina, she talked about seeing Los Angeles improv shows and how the comedy was very dry. And I asked her to elaborate because I felt like I had a different definition of dry, and she said it's people standing around talking. And you'll hear in the interview, she talks about the physicality that they bring to improv in the Philippines. And that is a criticism that Los Angeles gets a lot, is that it's clever people standing around talking. Um, so that is using one tool. That is verbalizing. That is dialogue. That's building a scene with one tool. If you're going to build a house with one tool, it's going to take you a very long time. You're probably not going to get very far. But if you bring lots of tools, you can build the house faster. You can add floors to it, stairs, stories. You can heighten it. You can put a little, one of those little windows at the top in the attic that people look out of. Basically, I see a lot of people build scenes with one tool. And so if you're looking at a scene and you notice that something's unusual or there's an unusual behavior or response, and you're either in the scene or on the back line, start bringing more tools. What does that behavior, what does that point of view, what does that response look like physically? What does it look like in action? What does it look like in emotion? What other specifics can you give? There's a great phrase that comes up in one of these interviews about your job is not to bring a house, your job is to bring a brick. Well, you're building a scene with other people, so bring your brick and bring your tools. A lot of people have talked about showing up for a show and feeling out of step with their teammates, or their head is someplace else, or they're just kind of in a fog. And my suggestion is look for the thing that makes you laugh in a scene and then use these tools to do the same thing. So if somebody has a very emotional response to something, walk onto that scene and mimic that emotional response. Stand next to them. Clone their posture. Whatever they're doing, you can start doing it. You will build the scene faster if you use more tools. So that's it. That's my little monologue for today. Bring your tools to your improv scene. How about that? Only 7 minutes. I cut it in half from the last one. I'm very excited about this episode. As I said, it's Sabrina Manansala from the Philippines and improv from Old Mill. So I hope you'll stick around. I hope you'll enjoy. And shout out to Lisa Gilroy for the music. All right.
Please, everyone gather round.
I'm here with Sabrina Manansala. So you recently came to LA, yeah?
Yeah, I did. I did. I'm so sad that I didn't get to see you, but we both have different schedules, busy schedules. So next time.
Yes, next time. Was that your first time to Los Angeles?
No, I've been visiting for a couple years, mostly for family and friends. I didn't get to properly ask how to say your last name
Oh,
too.
Jabor.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I only had it in my head, and then I didn't want to butcher it in the middle of something. But
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. I don't have a breakdown like you do for my last name. But
it could be like
Jabor.
Jake Jabor could be like Jab and like poor but B.
There we go.
There
Great. I
you go.
appreciate that. That's excellent.
Cool,
Um,
cool.
so how did you, I guess my question is kind of like, what, what was your experience with like, or what was your experience in LA with improv compared to, your traditional experience to improv?
Sure. So most of my experiences, I studied in the Philippines under Third World Improv. It's a school by one of the oldest improv groups called Spit Manila. And so I've been exposed to a lot of kind of like we every school has their own tiers, right? So we had level 1 to 5, and when I checked out the scene in LA, that one of the first things that I wanted to visit was UCB, like a show at least, and then find like kind of jams or open sessions where you could also join. And what I found that was very interesting about it was a lot of the things that you show in LA are very long form. So
Yeah.
it's yes, very story, scene, narrative based and whatnot. Um, and in the Philippines, like we do that, but we do a lot of short form too. So like all the games, probably things that you've seen in Whose Line Is It Anyway, and all that. So it was very fun to kind of like, oh, this is how they play, and it would be really good to find a good mix to just you know have everyone together. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So, how long have you been doing improv then?
I've been doing theater since high school.
Okay.
College they taught a bit on improv. I didn't have the budget yet to get into the school. So when I graduated from college, that's when I really focused on trying improv out. So I guess in totality, theater wise, probably around since 2010 or
Okay.
11. Improv would be probably around 2019 before
Okay.
I graduated. Yeah.
And uh, so what is it? What keeps you coming back? What do you get out of it? What do you like about it?
Well, it's the magic of, once you show it, once you share it to the world, it's their own definition of things, and it'll never happen again. And that's the nice thing about it. It's like nothing is ever the same. Even if, let's say, you are provided the same prompt, you get into the same scene, there's still a different feeling, there's still a different outcome. It's all magic. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And did you? Uh, well, so I imagine that would be a similarity you might find here in LA with compared to the Philippines. Even though maybe there's more long form here or more focused on that. Was there other things you found like that we had in common in terms of communities?
Mm.
Like the stuff that people found funny or the way they approached comedy?
That's a very interesting question, and I feel like I haven't pondered a lot about it to answer it properly. But with the spirit of improv, the first thought that came to my head, the similarity that I feel like we have is the energy is very much there. Like when people jump into scenes, when people cut, when people make bold choices, it's always there in that spirit of yes, ending it, making your partner look good in that sense. Another similarity would be kind of like how I guess there are formats that I'm very familiar with that we do as well. So I've seen the Herald, I've seen kind of like the living room, and there are like, we do similar formats, we do it differently. We have different styles of comedy or in terms of like our humor in that
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Well, does anything? I know that's putting you on the spot, but does that style of humor or sense of humor, like, are there any big differences that come to mind? Like something that you noticed is like, oh, in Los Angeles, at least, this seems to be something that people find very funny. Uh,
I mean,
or
I don't wanna put an adjective to it, but the first thing that I thought about was like dry humor. I mean, it's still humor, but
yeah,
dry. And at the same time, it's like you remember when you play kind of like mind meld or something like if it's too specific for people, it would be kind of like something that only probably one person or one partner knows. And coming from not a lot of pop culture or like I didn't grow up in America, so I don't know a lot of pop culture, pop references. So there's only like a word association that helps me kind of like I think that's it. But
yeah.
then if I don't get it, I don't it's like can't really do anything about that.
Yeah, that's I've been thinking about that a lot lately in terms of like if you're referencing pop culture, you are bringing people in on the joke, but people have to have knowledge like
Yes.
prior knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the most effective improv, and not to say the best improv, but is the one where everything you build in that space and that time frame so that
Mm-hmm.
everybody has all the information they need to
Yeah.
enjoy it, right? And so
Yeah.
I think LA is very cultural, pop culture reference heavy, and it like really works for the people who understand it. But if you're somebody
Hmm.
who doesn't, it's like, oh, I missed out on that because I didn't have the knowledge of it coming into it.
Yeah.
Um,
So I
is
think
that yeah.
if yeah, I definitely resonate with that, and I don't think it's also wrong to yeah, take these references, and because it is your personal truth, it's your personal experience, and that's what you have when you go into a scene. It's how you, I guess, how do you make the audience feel like that's something that it's also, about them in that sense, or it's also like relevant to them? How do you connect it, in a general sense is what I think would be really good to see. And I've seen that in so many scenes as well, for sure.
Yeah. Um, that's fascinating. Part of the reason I wanted to do this was to look for those things that feel universal about comedy, even though we have our own experiences, right? I think
Hmm.
um, right now, something that is kind of like in the ether that people are thinking about and talking about is like, oh, what can I explore comedically, at least here in Los Angeles? Like, what is off limits, or what is,
Mm,
and my approach as a teacher is like, the stage is for you to explore. If you have experience with something or thought about
yeah.
something, or you should be able to explore it on that stage. It's a rough draft
Hmm.
stage for exploration, but
Hmm. Hmm.
also keeping in mind that thing of um, what is somebody's relationship to it, right? And
Yeah.
you may not get the support from your teammate, not because they don't
Hmm.
like your idea, but because they don't have the same experience. So they're not,
Yeah, for sure.
they feel like, oh, how do I engage with this? But at the same time, it's like, I don't want you to not bring something that's important to you, and trying to find that balance.
Yeah, and I think just, kind of like giving perspective as well from a lot of the countries I visited in Asia, where everybody still has their own styles. What I've noticed in Asia is we all pull in on the emotion when we do our improv. Like the relationship and emotion are very big factors to how our stories, how our scenes are created. And what I've seen, that is a good thing about the US, or at least like also in LA, is that obviously these ideas very open, very liberal. It's all out there. Um, and I guess from my experience, like I'm very lucky that in the Philippines, like we also have that kind of like freedom. Not so much for other countries in Asia, because obviously each country has their own rules in terms of like what is kind of like allowed in terms of showing it publicly. And I think it all comes down to the concept of, as long as you're not making fun of like a specific like theme, just to get the better out of it, then I think being able to portray them in scenes or
Hmm.
discuss them in scenes, do them in scenes, is still good.
Yeah, that's fascinating. When you were talking about emotion and relationships, do you feel that that is um, that comes from the, because you said in the Philippines, but also other parts of Asia? Do you feel that that is influenced by how improv was introduced into the Philippines, or how you learned about it, or is that cultural? Do you think that like that independent of improv, comedy is has a focus on emotion and relationships for the Philippines or maybe other parts of Asia? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely picked the latter, only because I feel like art in general, in the Philippines, has a lot of emotion and relationships in it. Like a lot of the things that are, let's say, even popular or in our culture, is based on feelings of pain, of sadness, or of even like happiness. So I think we are very deep rooted in our emotions and the way that our culture is placed with our families, with the relationships that we make, which shows a lot in the improv that we do, because that is our own personal truth.
Yeah. Uh that's incredible. I love that. So, um I guess the two things that I'm sort of thinking about then is like, um, when you say that, like, oh, you notice that, like, and to make sure that I'm accurately reflecting it back, of like, you were like, not to put too much of a description on it, but slightly more dry, or there's an emphasis on dry comedy in LA, is like that idea of like, oh, what's this funny idea or concept, maybe independent of an emotion behind it, or a relationship behind it.
Mhm.
Is that kind of what you meant?
Probably, I'm kind of lost in thought in that area. Um, I think like uh, the first thing that I feel like I can relate it to is for me and maybe even a lot of other improvisers in the Philippines, part of the reason why we tried improv or we joined the improv community is because we wanted to develop ourselves personally. So it wasn't all like fully on career focus or like art passion focus. It was because we wanted improv as the skill for our lives, for how we can better ourselves. And one of the things that I really saw in LA, which is really amazing, is how people really put a lot of time in, in their art, in their passion, because they want to make this a full-time thing, because they want to be diverse. And again, those two things are both great because it is a path that you choose in that sense. So I mean, I think even with reasoning in terms of joining improv is how it is a bit related to humor. I don't know
Yeah.
if ever, yeah.
Yeah, and you sort of answered my next question, or what I was curious about is like, what do you see people coming to it for? Because I think I've been sort of shifting my focus a little bit, teaching in Los Angeles. I came up through UCB, and um, so many of my classmates and peers and friends were sort of, improv was a means to an end. It was the
Mm,
next step towards acting or
yeah.
whatever it was. And my personal experience was like, it was kind of an end in itself, in that like I did it because it was very fun for me to do. Um, and then when I started teaching, I started to recognize that there are a lot of people who are coming to it
Hmm.
because they want to get better at public speaking, or it's
Yes.
something that they're just curious about, or even performance. And I think on some level, for a lot of people, whether consciously or not, it's like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to explore a side of myself that maybe like day to day life doesn't offer, because
Hmm. Hmm.
the stakes aren't there, right? So
Yeah.
you can have a meltdown, you can make a big leap, or ask a big questions, because it's like this all ends, like you said at the top of this, of like, and then it's gone. So
Mm,
um I think LA has this focus that like, oh, if you're doing it for this reason. And it's taken me a long time to sort of go, oh, there is an entire population in Los Angeles who may just want to do this for fun,
yeah.
or for some sort of self-expression, or
Mm,
self-exploration. And
yeah. A deeper sense of things. Kind of like it improv is like therapy, but not.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
very much so. There's a little bit of that came up in a workshop. Somebody asked the question of like, well, how do you think I should like address, like, what is, like, I have this feeling of getting things wrong, and being afraid of doing it, and how do I address that? And I was like, honestly, that sounds outside of my like, I can't help you do that. I can talk to you about the improv part of it, but that is a little bit of those lines blurring between like what
Mm,
is therapy and what is sort of like art and exploration. And I think there's a huge overlap. Um and so that's kind of what I guess, um in your experience, either personally, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, or in a general, if you've noticed anything of like, uh do you um outside of the comedy exploration of it, do you notice people using it for other outcomes, other purposes?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I think for me, and this is just a funny thing to share, but like part of the reason why I joined improv finally after college was because I got into a breakup. And I was like, I need to step up my game and improve myself and just focus on me. That was like kind of like the idea. But I think on your end there about, let's just go back to the point of improv and therapy and the blurry lines, like how I would want to see it in another way is that improv is a support. It's a system that you need in your life. It's a way of looking at things um, that it's not a crutch. Crutch. Sorry. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. Anyway, it's not a crutch. But it's more of a healthy glass of water that you
Yeah.
probably need in the middle of the day. So I think that in itself, again, if you see that as your definition of therapy, sure, there is another definition of it, up to you. And I think it's just perspective in how you want to see improv work in your life, and how I've seen other people and even my friends um use improv is like, again, for a lot of my introverted friends, they used it for just a means of being more confident, being more sure of yourself, being less afraid of making mistakes, or even turning those mistakes into amazing things because you let yourself lose the control.
Yeah.
Other people they use it for hosting. I use it for a lot of my client facing aspects of my job, like my full time. And it's funny because it's like I get into these calls sometimes and I'm like, a client asks me something and I have no idea what he's trying to ask me for, but I try to associate some of the words that he's saying and just kind of like find a if this is true, like then this should be like, related to that in that sense. And I just feel like, improv, you can use it for everything. And it just helps you become more open as a person. And it depends really if the person's ready to be opened in that sense.
Yeah. Incredible. I think that, yeah, I completely agree with that. I love that. We were talking about hypnotism on a podcast that I was on, and it was that same sort of like, you kind of have to be open to it. There that helps facilitate it.
I've
Uh,
never tried that though. Have you?
no, I have not. Somebody else had signed up for it. I don't know if I'm
Okay.
open enough for hypnotism. Um, but I think improv has helped me sort of like, mm, yeah, I think, yes and is such a fundamental part of it that it bleeds into life.
Hmm.
And for me, that has become both like uh, a blessing and a curse in the sense that, like, I also can need to work on learning how to say no.
Mm.
And I think improvisers a lot in communities find themselves in that situation where it's like, oh, I've done so much training and education in the idea of like, can I say yes to this idea and see what comes up next?
Hmm.
And also recognizing of like, there's a balance to that, and making
Mm.
sure that like, yeah, I should say yes to hypnotism, but I can say no to doing something if my schedule's too full.
Yeah.
That sort
Yeah.
of
I
golden
think
gray.
I
Yeah.
think and then the next level to that is being able to um I can't fully explain it, but I remember after learning obviously the fundamentals, you start to learn that breaking it doesn't mean you're saying no.
Yeah.
So in a way it's like saying no doesn't always mean like it's the bad part of like you're not yes ending somebody, but maybe you're yes ending yourself and you're yes ending the space and boundaries for things that you're not comfortable with or you're not ready yet is definitely something that you should yes end. Yeah.
I love that. Yes, anding boundaries is something I haven't considered. I really love that. I just have a three more questions.
Sure.
What is the community, the improv community look like? Do you in Los Angeles? It's very insulated. I feel like I just went to a basketball game with a friend of mine who took a break from improv, and he was like, "I think I have to get back into this because I don't see any of my friends otherwise. Like you guys all do stuff together." And so I need to start doing it again. Does it feel very closely linked, or is it, or something else?
So I can only speak for when I entered Third World Improv and the community there, because I don't have a lot of experiences being part of different other uh communities and other countries. But for, I guess, for Manila or for Third World Improv, we I definitely got the sense of it is a place where they provide you a safe space to be. Again, if you're not comfortable with something in a scene, improv helps you to be able to communicate that, and kind of like draw a pause, draw a stop to it. And that for me, and if I can describe it in like a sentence or two, uh, like the improv community is a very welcoming and warm community. It enables you to feel like you can find a similarity with everybody, even if they live totally different lives.
Yeah.
Like one's a lawyer. I have another group mate that's like a full-time freelancer host and everything, and one is like a full-time improv teacher, so we like live different lives and whatnot, and we find commonalities not just in improv, but because improv exists, we yes and that. And I
Yeah.
keep saying yes and, but I think that that's one of the big factors of why I feel like even in LA the community stays. It's because we provide a space for people to be.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And that sort of leads me to the next one. And then what um uh w- what do you I think this is a little bit more of like um to offer up as a tip or help for improvisers in Los Angeles, because I feel like myself included, I got so focused on it that I wasn't doing other things outside of it, right? I wasn't enriching my life through other experiences because it was like, oh, I can kind of do anything on this stage. So, what's something that you do outside of improv that is fulfilling, whether it's like professional or for leisure? Yeah, just something you enjoy doing to sort of like have that work life balance.
Sure. Aside from work and improv, I also run like a community that started over at the pandemic called Shared Spaces. So we have monthly sharing sessions wherein we gather in a circle. It's not like AA or anything, but I think group therapy without the therapy part, and all of you are just really talking about stories, experiences, and it's usually dependent on like what the theme for the month is. But for me, I find that listening to others gives you a deeper understanding of who you are and how you think, and maybe even like give you another perspective that you didn't consider before. So that's one of my very
Wow.
soul filling type of like things that I do outside of improv and work. And lastly is traveling. I do it for work, I do it for leisure, but I feel like going through different countries, especially if you're an improviser, really helps like close the gaps. Like you get to meet other people that are locals there, you get to meet other improvisers, you get to share stories, and you just get to immerse yourself in the culture. And I think that's one of the things actually that I found that I guess some people that I know in the US, like they never leave the US for like their whole lives, and being in Asia for like or like in a lot of countries in Asia, it's just like there are similar things, but we're also so different that you
Yeah.
have to see everything. Yeah,
Oh, that's great. That's tremendous. Um, uh, and wow. So that shared
you
spaces.
should visit.
I should. I should
Yeah.
really come to the Philippines. My former coworker, I used to teach special education, and she was from the Philippines, and
Oh.
often was like, "We need to get you to the Philippines." So and the shared spaces, that's been going on since the pandemic. You said,
Yes.
"Wow, that's
So,
awesome." So those are great. So there's a real sort of community aspect to all of this. It sounds like
mhm,
travel, connecting through travel and through the shared spaces and through improv. Um,
mhm,
so what's something that maybe has come up in improv for you that has been eye opening, or is like somebody gave you a note or you observed something in a scene or a show that you're like, oh, like the thing you're thinking about lately, like for example, mine uh that I'm sort of thinking about right now is like being the voice of reason in a scene, and
mhm,
how your job as the voice of reason is to be a pitcher, and your job is just to throw pitches, and let the your scene partner take swings, and they might not take a swing at something you want them to, or they might swing a little differently, but you still throw pitches until they charge the mound, and then you can have a bigger reaction to it. But otherwise, it's like your job is to do your job. And so that's kind of like where I'm thinking that's like something that's been on my mind lately. So do you have like an improv thing that's been on your mind?
I actually wrote down three. Basically, when you were talking, I was like, "Oh, this is actually very helpful." The first one is I'm very into movement and dance. So when I do improv, like I always find myself incorporating my body or just using elements of that. But I think in the earlier parts of me learning improv, I remember physicality is not just about big movements. And that hit me because I always go big at the first try, or like, especially when you think about physicality, and that really shaped the way that I played with it. So that's really good. And the second one was be the villain, because a lot of people hate being the enemy, being endowed as a negative thing. And you know what? That speaks to us because we, in reality, we as people, we do not want to do that. We do not want to be the bad guy. But it's letting go of the control, really, and be it. Commit to
Yeah.
it. And you know what? You'll never know where it takes you. It might even be like a very memorable moment. And I guess the last thing is to, I think we all need to slow down. Like, because we are amazing people with fast brains and we can jump in at any time, or we can connect things from left to right, we also need to learn like slowing down, or just like the magic of a 5 second pause, or silence, or just taking what the last sentence was said to you and reacting to that. And I feel like those are things you keep having to learn and unlearn every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are three great ones. I really love that. I like that physicality is not only big movements. Is that what it
Mhm.
was? I think that's really great.
Yeah.
What do you think is, and then we can wrap this up, but what do you think is, because I find that true in Los Angeles too, of like, very fast paced, like, and I tend to play that way. Like, um, and a lot of people have attributed it to like, well, I don't have a lot of time on stage or whatever. And
Mm,
I'm like, I don't know if that's necessarily it. Like, for me, I think it is rooted in a little bit of an anxiety that, sort of when you were talking about being the villain, it's like, if I give space, if I slow this down, I'm sort of letting go of the scene. Like I have less control over
mm,
it, and that gives me a little anxiety, right? Like even though improv is, nobody's in control and we're making it up as we go, like you find ways to harness it. And for me, it's like I'm
yeah.
going to be talking, I'm going to be moving the scene forward, I'm going to be adding the information. And so if I'm not doing those things, it's like I'm sort of letting the scene go. And I think that's good for me. But do you have a sense of why it's like that, or what you've noticed about it?
Um, I guess from my perspective, it will be because we don't want it to be draggy. We don't want it to be what do you call that? Like rotten. Like you don't want the scene to die, and you want everyone to enjoy. And being fast paced makes it, or at least going in and out in that pace would make everyone feel like it's a very seamless thing. And I think one of my teachers told me, bring a brick, not a house. And I think basically that kind of like shows that it's not just you with the responsibility of making the show, the scene great. It's everyone, and you're probably like a tenth of it or something, and that tenth is already enough to
Yeah.
build the house. Yeah.
Ah, I love that. I have not heard bring a brick, not a house. I've heard like if I ask you to help me move a couch, you're just responsible for your end of the couch. But I really love bring a brick, not a house, and all of that. This has been really, really great. Sabrina, I can't
Yes.
thank you enough
Yes.
for taking the time to do it.
For sure.
Is there anything that you want to plug, or anything you want people to check out?
Sure. I could think of four things. First is I'd like to thank Third World Improv. Obviously I wouldn't have been able to get a lot of these knowledge and use them and share them without, learning from the best. And my teachers were from Spit, Manila. Which if you are in the Philippines, you really, if you can go watch their shows, they're amazing. My house team is called Housekeeping Improv. They're the ones that I've been stuck with for the past couple years. And aside from that, Same Bananas is a duo that I do with my partner. We run like monthly jams and like create like a sense of why improv is fun, even if you have not tried it yet, or if you've tried it yet and you're just you wanna a little bit
Yeah.
of spark. So yeah, I probably forgot to mention a couple more groups, but I'm sorry. But like that came to my mind the first time. And do you want to share anything? Maybe next time when we're in LA.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I please come check out We Improv. That's the school I run and the theater space. And it is, yeah. The idea behind it is like, there's no better teacher than experience. So, our classes have shows, and I like to make sure that my space is like community built and community driven, so the idea being like the people on stage are the people who showed up and came together and wanted to do this. And so if you happen to visit Los Angeles, check out We Improv, and we'll put you up, we'll do a show. I learned so much from playing with other people, especially people who's like we talked about earlier. It's like experience is different, and that extends to improv, and it extends beyond improv. So
Mhm.
yeah, I can't thank you enough for doing this, Sabrina.
Thank you so much as well for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll include some of that stuff in the show notes. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'll figure it out. But thank you so much for doing this.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. I think what I got from our talk, or at least the last part of it, was also yes ending is showing up, as what you said.
Hey, we're going to take a little pause to hear a word from our sponsor, me. Are you in Los Angeles? Do you want to be a part of We? Do you want to help out We? Uh, um, does it feel insane to pay upwards of $200, $300, $400, $500 for an improv class? Well, we would like to help. We has a membership. For $10 a month, you get 10% off any workshop. That puts most workshops under $200. And you get a monthly drop-in. So if nothing else, pay $10 and do a drop-in workshop. You can pay $20 a month, still get the 10% off, still get the drop-in, but you also get a mashup show and a T-shirt or a hat. Do you not want to be a member because you don't live in Los Angeles? You can still get a T-shirt and a hat at weimprov.org. Or if you're in Los Angeles and you want to sign up as an improv team, you can perform regularly at We for a monthly fee. And we have tiered pricing on all our workshops. So hopefully that makes it a little bit more accessible because it's fucking expensive in Los Angeles. And improv is great and it should be accessible to everybody. And I'm trying to make that happen. So if you want to support We, memberships are the best way to do it. It's a way to give the theater money and get something in return, like an exchange for goods and services. And check out a class, check out a show. All our shows are free and they're great. I know that I'm biased and I'm making this podcast, but I'm putting teams that perform at the shows on this podcast because I know if you hear them, you're going to go like, that's got to be even better in person, which is hard to imagine because that was the best time I've had inside my ear. It will be better in person, which I know is hard to believe. Okay, back to the show.
Please, everyone gather round.
Welcome back. I'm here with the improv group Old Milk.
Woo.
Yeah.
Do you want to go around and introduce yourself? Sorry, we're going to do this again.
I'm Lainey Surface.
I'm Mickey Wu.
Nico Thiel.
Rachel Baldwin.
Caroline Cummings.
Catherine Stigemeyer.
All right. And how did you all form?
Good question.
Catherine
DM'd me.
Yeah. Mickey and I were just talking at a party, and I was mentioning how I really wanted to have a team that did a pretty flower, and Mickey was like, we should do it. And then we just kind of reached out to people that we wanted to perform with.
Yeah. And it was crazy too, just because I'd never really done improv with anybody else on the team besides Lainey. Me and Lainey were on a team called Ghost Train together, so I reached out to her. And then Nico, we'd met each other at an improv drop-in, and then Rachel, I was just like, hey, she seems cool, why not?
Yeah, I really got the benefit of the doubt on that.
It was very much though. Our first practice was very much a group of strangers.
It was wild.
And I had never met any of you. And Mickey wasn't there for our first practice.
Yeah.
You had to show up to Rachel's apartment without knowing anyone.
And I was late because I was running over from Groundlings. I truly walked into a room of strangers.
Still were doing Groundlings at that time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're a well-trained team. Wait, you guys only knew each other from the gym?
Yeah, I'd never done improv with him or anything.
We just rock climbed together. That's when we met.
Wow.
And then it turned out we both did improv.
Yeah, and then Mickey created the group chat, and there was a number that I already knew in the group chat, and I'm like, Nico,
I remember that exchange.
Isn't that so crazy?
Wow. And you just had a birthday, a 1-year birthday party?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing it
Happy
out.
birthday.
Thank you so much.
We're 1 year old.
We're potty training this year.
How does it feel?
Feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that some teams have been around for 5-6 years. And it goes, wow, I've only been around for 1 year. It feels so big. And then other teams have been around so much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those teams do not have legendary ragers.
Yeah, they don't have legendary birthday parties with milk mustaches.
Yeah, no face painting at their B-Day parties.
If you had come to our birthday party, would you have put a milk mustache on?
Yeah, I would have done that. I could do that. That sounds nice.
You're a good sport.
Yeah, I put on a milk mustache. What else do you do as a team that's not improv related?
I feel like so much. Yeah.
Good.
We're kind of a married improv team. It's Thursday night after practice, we're like, what's everybody doing? Friday night, we're going to see everybody's shows. What are you guys doing?
Me and Lainey and Catherine just went to a backgammon tournament yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Which I won.
Catherine won.
She won $70,000. She won $70,000.
Catherine won $70,000 at a backgammon tournament.
$70 worth of honey.
Allegedly.
Wow.
Allegedly $70 worth of honey.
I've never lost a backgammon game in my life.
History was her first time.
That's incredible.
Why was honey what was being played for?
It was a friend's birthday, and it was from his wedding.
Oh, okay.
The honey.
Like they gave, I think that honey was the wedding, like the take-home gift.
Oh, I've gotten that at a wedding before.
Yeah.
I've gotten honey.
That's so interesting.
Anybody have anything else they've gotten at a wedding, like a take-home gift that stands out?
I got a Nalgene that had my friend does drawing,
And so it was drawings of her house and her dog and her husband's car and all this stuff, and then also a tote bag. And it's
Her husband's car was on it?
yeah, he also drives a Subaru Impreza, so it kind of looks like my car is on it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it just was like iconography of their life.
Did everybody get the same one, or?
Yeah, everybody got the.
Nico, you're nodding. Yes.
I was at the
He was
wedding.
at the wedding.
Oh, okay. Great,
was it for that baked beans guy?
Yes, yeah. My friend Cameron is the heir to the Bush's Baked Beans Corporation.
Oh, okay.
Which was absolutely huge for me because I love baked beans.
He loves baked beans, but none served at the wedding, much
Pissed
to
me
Nico's
off.
chagrin.
Yeah, pissed me off. I was screaming the whole time.
Yeah, horrible wedding guests.
Where are they?
I feel like I've only ever gotten Marcona almonds.
Oh, those are
I
good.
feel like I've only ever gotten the little Tool drawstring bag of Marcona almonds.
At a wedding?
At a wedding?
I got some scratch
That's like the main wedding.
Yeah.
You've got lottery tickets?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, sorry, lady. Something
They
more
gave you
interesting
scratchers
happened.
for the wedding.
Yeah. Everybody got scratchers. At a
kinda
wedding
fun.
I officiated in November. Yeah, apparently it's an Italian thing.
Oh.
I would love that.
But also some almonds. There were also almonds, but the scratch offs rocked. I've also gotten to take home a groomsman. So.
Ooh.
Just kidding.
Oh, it's a joke.
Okay.
We didn't go home immediately, but we did start dating afterwards. Once he found out that my date was a gay man.
Oh.
Oh.
Why did you know? Okay. Were you like, you just needed a +1 and you asked your gay friend, or
No,
did he?
my gay friend needed a beard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was his family's wedding.
It was his family's wedding, and we were good friends. And
Oh.
it was definitely like, see, I'm bringing a girl. I was like, oh, everyone here thinks we're dating, which was fine until there was a hot groomsman.
He didn't tell you that. He didn't fill you in on that's why he was bringing you.
No, but I think it became pretty clear because people were asking, and he was giving very, like he wasn't saying, oh no, this is just my friend. You know, everyone's like, oh, how do you guys know each other? Like, how'd you guys meet and stuff? And I'm like, oh, we're all pals from high school.
Just letting the assumption continue.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's fun to pretend that you are dating with someone else when you're like back home, and they're like, yeah, sure, let people believe.
Yeah.
I got nothing to lose.
No, I did that when Nico came to my friend's wedding with me because some of my friends, they were very cool, and I dated one of them, and I just like, I don't know, they were so happy for me. They were like, look, you finally found and because Nico was wearing my belt, and they were like, oh, that's what partners are for. Like, you got a belt and you wear hers. Like, that's so special. And I just let it ride. I was like, yeah.
Okay, I gotta say, to be fair, everybody thinks you two are dating, Nico and Rachel.
No, people do think we're dating.
If you could guess how many
And that's
people.
why we're on the podcast today, to finally reveal.
That's not why you're on the podcast.
We're hijacking the podcast.
Yeah, we're not going to do improv. We're just getting into it. How many people would you guess have assumed that you guys are dating? How many times have you had to say in your life, oh, Nico and I aren't dating?
You know, I would say it's about 50% of the time because half the time people assume we're
50% of
dating.
my life.
Yeah, no, 50% of my life people, well, because we're together 100% of the time. So 50% people assume we're dating, and the other 50% are women who have the audacity to ask me if he's single and if they can date him. And then I'm offended at that point because I go, what makes you think we're not dating?
Nice.
Nice.
A little wind down.
Yeah.
We're talking, but I don't know how long you want us.
Oh, I'll run. I'll run it.
Okay, great. Keep shooting it.
I have a thought. Speaking of Catherine never losing it backgammon, I have never lost on a scratcher. I have never.
What?
I have never.
How many scratchers have you played?
One. A fair amount.
Okay.
No. But I've never. What's the right grammar for the sentence? I've never not at least gotten another scratcher on a scratcher.
Wow.
I've never had a full fail.
That's really good.
I've probably done 30 scratches.
Wow.
What? Oh.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
30 with no fails?
I remember when I was at a very low point in my life. I had just gotten out of a relationship and lost a family member. And I remember I was like, I got a lottery ticket and I was so sure I was going to win. I was like, why not? Why not me?
What kind? Like Mega Millions?
Yeah, it was like the Super Bowl. Like I would have won like $500 million. Why not me? And I was like, I think it's gonna happen.
That's never been me in my life. I've never gone up to something and been like, yeah, I think I'm gonna win. It's always the opposite. I always think I'm gonna lose something.
I feel like when I win things, I'm always like, I didn't know it was happening, and then I won it.
What do you mean you didn't know what was happening?
Yeah, you.
Like this backgammon tournament?
Yeah, like the backgammon tournament. I still didn't know how to count the spaces around the board at the end of the tournament, and then I just won. I won a TV in a raffle that I didn't know that I had entered.
It was legit?
Yeah, it's the TV in my home.
Wow.
That I still have.
Oh man.
Yeah, I won it at the UCLA gymnastics meet.
Did it come with the wheels?
Nope.
Her TV's on wheels.
You thought you were entering the meet? You like wrote your name and number down?
No, it was just they just gave me a ticket when I came in because it was for I was a student at the time, and you go in through the student entrance, and they kind of like there's usually like little treats for the students there, like a pin or something. And so I just like went up to the table to like get a pin, and they just handed me a ticket with it, and I didn't think anything about it and put it in my pocket. And then halfway through the gymnastics meet, they're like, all right, everybody, get out your raffle tickets. And I was like, oh, that must be what that little ticket was. And then they put the number on the screen, and I'm like holding it up to read it as a joke. And I'm like, holy. I'm like, wait a second, that's on my ticket. That's the same number that's on my ticket.
Was it a good TV?
Yeah, it's my TV.
Oh, it's the one you have now.
Yeah.
Nice,
It's
that's
my
a good
TV.
TV.
Yeah.
Nice TV.
It's on wheels.
Well, I did that.
She put it on the wheels. I feel like have you been on Star Tours at Disneyland? Because this is giving the energy of gets picked as the rebel spy on Star Tours.
No, but I did when I was a kid get told that I was standing in the spot where people always see Anne Boleyn's ghost at a castle in England. So that kind of feels like it has the same.
And did you see the ghost?
I pretended that I had.
You gotta.
That's
It's respectful.
You getting a TV reminded me of when I was in Chicago and my car broke down, and I had to like have AAA swap out a battery. And afterwards, it was like around Christmas time, and I was like in college at the time, and I was like, I asked the guy, I was like, do people typically tip you? Because I wanted to be like courteous, and like if people tip, I wanted to tip. And he was like, yeah, people usually tip. And I was like, okay, like how much? And he was like, oh, I mean, it depends. Like someone's giving me a TV, and like other people give me like $100. And I was like, okay, that's about how much the battery cost. I was just way too naive and gave them like, I think way more than I was supposed to, which was like $50.
Oh my gosh.
For like a $200 battery or something.
Installed for you?
Yeah, like just swapped out.
Tipping at the auto mechanic?
No, like AAA came
Oh.
Yeah, you
to
tip
exchange my battery.
You do tip like the tow truck drivers and stuff, but I feel like it's like $10.
But also, how do you do that? Because you can't predict getting towed. It's not you're like, I gotta have cash on me to tip the tow guy.
I had to go to the ATM.
Oh, interesting.
Oh my god!
Did the AAA guy drive you to the ATM until you take out a 50?
It was in
You had a gun
Chicago.
to your head. I tipped him.
It was in Chicago, and so my car just didn't start that morning. So the AAA came to where my car was, and then I walked where the ATM was while he was fixing my car.
You can't get a 50 out of an ATM.
I can't?
No, it's like 20s.
2 20s and a 10.
Oh.
You can't. You don't really.
You can only get 20s.
You don't
can't,
really get
Nico.
tens out of an ATM. I don't think.
I haven't
Can
gotten
you?
cash in years.
You can get 10 sometimes.
You can.
Yeah, if it's a fancy
But yeah,
ATM.
what if I just want 10? Do I have to take out 20?
Yeah.
The only cash I have in my wallet is from another country that was gifted.
Oh, the bot
Yeah, was
from
that
Cage
you?
Match. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Artoon, who hosts Cage Match, is trying to get rid of his Thai currency, so
So funny.
he gives one out every Cage Match.
That's really funny.
The only cash I have is from my grandma, who will send me, like, usually like a holiday card with like 3 20s.
No, that's huge. That'll get you through the year.
It will.
Oh, I love cash and I hide it everywhere.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sometimes you pick up a jewelry box and you're like, it's $20.
No, which I found out actually is genetic. Me hiding money places. Yeah. Because my dad told me that when my grandpa died, he essentially left a map of the house. And it was like not a will, but a map of the house that was like, here's where the money is and here's where the gun is, and which was just a gun that he had stolen from a crime scene.
Stolen?
Because the serial numbers had been scraped off, and this man just like was like, I will never trust the government. And so I don't know.
Under what circumstance did he enter this crime scene to get the gun?
As a homicide detective.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, I don't think
That's clear.
Great.
Apparently, it was just like left on a bar stool that they had shown up to a crime scene, and it was on the bar stool, and there was no serial number, and he was just like, in case of an emergency, I'm gonna need a gun without a serial number, like an untraceable gun. So there is one in my family. Don't mess with me. But yeah, hiding money is just what the Cummings do, I guess. It was like in ceiling tiles and in mattresses and like
nice.
in all different places. And
Wow.
I'll never tell you where mine is.
That sounds really bad. We can all acknowledge that,
Yeah,
right?
Jake, you might have to edit that.
Yeah, this is a good place to.
Your family has a gun with no serial number on it?
Also, comparing hiding an untraceable gun to hiding money around the house is so funny.
There was money too. He like didn't have a will. It was just like, well, here's where I hid all of the money.
All right. Here we are at your stop. I just finished towing your car.
Oh, thanks. Should I tip you or?
Yeah.
Great. Could you? My car's. Could you drive me to the ATM? I don't know where one is.
Oh, if you don't have money, then don't worry about it.
Oh my. Wait. What do you want me to do?
Oh God, porn intros are so long.
No, this one gets really good.
Oh, come on. Can we fast forward to the good stuff?
Oh, okay. So you forgot your ATM card.
Oh yeah, I forgot my ATM card.
Okay.
Is there any other way I can repay you?
I mean, I guess I can drive over to your house.
That would be great.
Okay.
I definitely have something in there that I could pay you with.
Okay. Okay. But first, I gotta stop for gas.
Sure.
Seriously, this is so long. When
Trust
are they
me.
just gonna?
This is like the A24 of porn, okay?
All right, so just the pack of gum and the Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, would you give me a Diet Coke too?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Hey, how's your day going?
Oh my God! Thank you for asking. Wow, nobody asked me that. They usually just go $40 in the tank and they walk away.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must be so dehumanizing.
Yeah, it is.
Is that Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, he booked this role. It's gonna get horned up soon. Just wait.
My day's not great, to be honest with you.
Oh no.
It's not going good.
Wait.
I asked out my neighbor this morning. She said no.
That's
Oh.
Paul Giamatti,
Wait, Paul Giamatti plays the
the
neighbor.
cashier.
The cashier.
And the other guy is the person.
Oh, the
talking
tow
to
truck
cashier.
driver is Robert Pattinson.
Oh no. That's terrible.
Oh, his accent really needs work.
What are you guys getting up to?
Oh, I'm just driving this young lady over to her house so she can give me a tip.
Yeah,
Excuse me, do you have another? Could I use the employee restroom? The customer one is. It's the toilet is clogged.
Number 1 or number 2?
What's the toilet clogged with?
No.
Number 2.
If you're going to use the employee restroom, do you have to go number 1 or number 2?
Number 2.
All right, make it quick.
Hey,
Okay.
guys, I thought that we were all going to masturbate together. What's going on here?
I'm getting close.
I'm soft. I'm like, it's not going for me.
No, I'm not even convinced that this is a porn. Nico just keeps saying, trust me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Good writing gets me horned up, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, man, get out of there. Get out of my bathroom.
I clogged the toilet. I'll clean it up.
You're going to clean it up?
I'll clean it up.
Good writing, huh?
Yeah, this is some of the best writing that I've ever seen in a movie, okay?
Oh, except I have to go pee before we get home. Where am I going to? Both toilets are clogged.
Okay, now we know what Nico's into.
Where am I going to pee?
There is.
Oh, I got to go so bad.
There's a Subway on the corner. They usually let people use
I don't
the
know if I'm going to make it.
Oh, you can. Oh, ma'am, you can use my hands.
Oh, really, sir?
Yeah.
That's disgusting. That is disgusting. Just wait until I unclog the toilet.
Well, you're not. Don't just stand here. Get
I'm
unclogged.
working on it. I have tennis elbow. It's making this difficult for me.
I'm thinking about just going in my pants at this rate.
No, don't use your pants. Use my hands.
Yuck!
If anyone wants me on the record, I'm fine with it.
Nico
With the
comes.
hands or the pants?
Yuck.
I didn't expect to win. Wow.
Oh my God, congrats.
I didn't know I had entered anything. Wow.
Yeah, wow, you got the winning number.
I just got the one ticket. I didn't know. I thought it was sort of the entry ticket. So, wow, I guess another win. Another win for me.
Yeah, not for me.
Oh, you didn't win anything?
No, I don't know. I bought seven tickets.
Oh, that's tough. I didn't even pay for mine. The guy at the front just sort of gave it to me and winked. I don't know.
You didn't pay for it?
No, I didn't even pay for it. I didn't know what this was, but I guess
It's a benefit auction.
this is a benefit auction?
Yeah.
Wow. What's it benefiting?
It's a bunch of kids they're gonna go to France to build homes for French people.
Oh my God. I've heard about that organization.
Yeah.
Hands for France.
Hands for France. Les mains for France.
Wow. You deserve an award for that, for the French.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. I could not, but over here, we have one extra house in France. We built one too many. Would you like a house?
No.
Oh, the house?
France.
Oh,
No.
I'd love a house.
You would?
Yeah.
That's excellent. And we need one more pair of hands. Would you like to help build a house in France?
The house that she's gonna live in?
Yeah. Yes, we have an extra house, but one hand's too short.
Oh, that's so sweet of you to help build my house.
And it's a trip though. I get to go on a trip?
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess, yeah. So the flight's paid for?
Yes, the flight is paid for.
Okay, that's kind of like winning something.
Oh, that's so sweet. You're such a giver.
Yeah.
I really love that about you.
Cut to France.
Pierre? Oh.
Cut to France. Oh, my sweetie. Here is your beautiful home.
Wow.
It is a 4-bedroom luxury estate that we are building.
Oh my gosh, the crown molding is gorgeous.
And Mrs., here is the room that you will be staying at while you work on this home. It was once a pool.
I was gonna say it's outside underground.
Mademoiselle, that was the famous underground pool. You will love it. We have put a little bottle of wine in there for you to make your stay more comfortable.
Yes, most pools in France are overground, but this one is underground.
Oh,
Wow.
is this the one of the neighborhood children was telling me that is this the pool that the ghost is spotted in?
Yes, if you stand in
haunted?
just the right spot. Yeah, well, the pool closed because someone did drown in it.
Wow, that'll be so cool.
And you guys are calling that a bedroom?
Yes.
Would you like to
We put a bed in it.
Yes, big bed.
We call it a room.
Would you like to put your bags down there? You can just kind of chuck them in.
Yeah, half the pool is covered in plywood.
And then if you need to get out, you can kind of jump up to the ladder.
Yeah, it's tough. It's the sloped, so I have to get like
It
a
was
running.
a diving pool.
Have to get a
That
running
is how that
start.
girl died.
She dove so hard and went face first. And then she just kind of was like, I think I'm down to not come back.
Yeah, she kind of just called it.
You
It was-
also have a ghost in your house.
Oh, I do?
Yes,
I have a
it's-
ghost?
Yes, it died from too many orgasms.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! I'd love to meet them.
Yes, you most likely will.
Wow!
If you lay in just the right spot on the bed, you will see her in the corner.
I'm sorry.
Him is not clear, so whatever your thing is,
Okay.
stay good at.
My ghost died from hitting its face at the bottom of the pool and deciding that it didn't want to come back up, and your ghost died from having too many orgasms.
I guess so. Both of them are so exciting.
Isn't
They were
France?
sisters. One is the lucky one is the unlucky one.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
We're sisters.
Yeah, we're sisters.
Isn't France just the most magnificent country you've ever been to?
I'd let you sleep in the house, but I didn't get a lot of sleep. My lie flat wouldn't go all the way flat on the way here, so I kind of need total silence
yeah.
in there.
They
And
actually.
the pool ghost gets really lonely because she was the lonely sister. So
That's
she
fine,
wants
that's
a
fine.
person to come sleep in the pool with her.
They actually.
Sometimes I'll let you know. Sometimes the jets still turn on.
But no water, just so loud. And she's been trying to come. She wants to have orgasm too, but she's just over there jacking off.
She's never
And she will never come. That is her unfinished business. And so if you make the pool ghost come,
Sorry, and you guys. Who are you?
We are two lovely French people who we work with this organization.
Okay.
Oh, one more gift. You each get a ratatouille. You get a rat. It will help you. You don't have to think about it. It make you a great chef.
Oh my gosh!
Also, this rat makes you have the best orgasm.
Wow!
It'll pull on your hair. And you have to be the rat. Ratatouille for the rat. You have to get on the top of a rat head.
you pull the rat hair, and sometimes the rat come too.
But you will never come.
God.
He is not a reciprocal rat. We ask him many times, and he is not thoughtful.
Oh, wow. At least my flight was paid for.
Old Milk is gonna do an improv set for us. Your suggestion is tack.
Tack.
Thank you, Jake.
I heard tack.
Okay, so we're just gonna hang this picture up, and I think the room should be finished.
Yeah, totally. I think you have a great taste in art.
Thank you. Yeah. My sister actually painted this for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gosh.
Can you even tell that's me on the horse, on the painting?
Well, now that you're mentioning it, I do see you, and I do see a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't exactly. I was thinking it was more abstract than that, but now I am seeing it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely you.
Yeah.
Your hands are so large.
Yeah, I asked my sister to make them extra big.
What? Why did you guys invite us over for housewarming? If you guys are just gonna have us watch you hang.
Well, because it's life size, we need all hands on deck.
Mm-hmm.
Life size painting.
Yeah, this was kind of a housewarming / like help us get ready.
Okay, great. Yeah, we just brought a casserole, so we want to pop it in the oven whenever to keep it warm.
Oh, yes.
Hands are so big in that painting.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually just a little insecure about my hands.
Because in real life they're small.
We cut to Mickey at a department store.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah. Okay. I just got back from the back, and that's the biggest glove size we have.
Are you? Okay.
If I can direct you, I think the ones you have on are actually a bit big. I don't know if you're noticing. Like, it's kind of like with shoes, how you tap at the end of your finger. And
Yes, I have foam fingers on.
Yeah. It's just that it's not going to fit over a foam finger. We don't have a glove that's going to fit over a foam finger.
When I came to you guys, I really thought you would be able to help me out, and I'm really disappointed. Do you have like a customer form that I could fill out?
A customer form.
Yeah. I mean, just nothing against you personally, but I do have a complaint and I would like to write one.
Sure. I mean, I can let you speak to a manager if that would be helpful. But yeah, we're paperless at Nordstrom.
Oh, did somebody call for a manager?
Hi. Yes.
Hey, hi. What's going on here? Everybody okay?
Hi.
We've just got a little complainty.
Oh,
yeah.
Shoot.
Because we've got this guy wants the gloves to be big enough to go over the foam finger.
Okay.
The foam finger that he's wearing.
Did we get him our biggest gloves?
We got him the biggest.
Okay, shoot. They don't fit?
No.
They're a normal
Shoot.
size. They're a normal hand size.
I hate admitting this, but my hands are not very big.
Do you mind if I see?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Put the foam finger back on.
Wow. Okay.
Mommy, why are that guy's hands so small?
I don't know. Keep it moving.
Wow. Okay. I thought Barney's would treat me like shit. Okay, but never did I think Nordstrom's would do this.
Oh, I don't think anyone here is treating anyone like shit. I'm trying my best to accommodate you.
You asked.
Hey, Mickey, I'm sorry. I thought we were just like gonna have a housewarming party, and then you brought us to Nordstrom. It's like my casserole is getting so cold, Mickey. I just want to make sure you enjoy it.
I told you to pop it in the oven. That's your fault for not turning it on.
We were supposed to leave the oven on when we left and went to Nordstrom.
So
There's nobody at the house.
Well, it's either that or a cold casserole.
Oh my god. You're gonna burn down your house in the warming party.
Do you guys need someone sent to the house to turn the oven on?
That's something you guys would do?
Yo, Nordstrom provides a lot of services.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys, and one of those services is having someone go to a empty house and turn on an oven?
If that's what the customer needs, my associate
Well, will they
here, I
sit
think-
with the will they sit and chaperone the casserole?
Yeah, Nordstrom provides a lot of services. I think my associate here would be happy to do that.
Oh my god, it would be my pleasure.
And would you also like add extra seasoning to it? Because like I feel like I probably didn't make it good enough. So if you want to like just like work on it a little bit and add some more ingredients, is that something you could do?
Could you just start over with the casserole? This is honestly not good.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like a Boston Market on the second floor or something? Sometimes they have those.
Yeah, that's actually kind of my life's calling.
We cut to Catherine at Mickey's house.
Oh my god, this painting is fucked.
Cut to Mickey at work. Mickey, so this is just gonna be a regular heart surgery we're going with. This person's we're gonna do a bypass.
Okay. Yes. Great. Thank you. Okay, I'm scrubbed in.
You're scrubbed in?
Yes.
Gloves on. Okay, they're on.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Weinbacher,
Yeah.
the Operation Game Set you asked me to get?
The Operation Game Set?
The Operation Tweezers?
The toy-sized.
Toy-sized.
Toy-sized
tools.
Okay, you didn't have to mention that they were toy-sized.
I mean, that's the only, they're so, like, cartoonishly big.
If
Small.
Oh, small.
If I said regular tools, then, they would be
Yeah.
the regular tools. These are
Great.
not.
Yeah,
These
we
are
just
for
wanted to make
Polly
sure that
Pocket.
you feel comfortable with. We give you small things
Yes.
that make your hands look big. The person you are operating on is a child, so that comparatively,
Yes,
you look really large.
I only operate on children because of my hands.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's got a bunch of big holes in him and the little metal trim.
Oh my god, this should not be.
Oh my god.
This is the children's hospital. Let me turn up that morphine a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, give that kid more morphine.
What's wrong with that?
Oh my god. Okay, great. I'm going in. I'm going to start the surgery now.
Right. Go in.
Okay.
I have the whole board of students watching this operation for educational purposes.
Okay. So I'm going to make the incision.
Oh, you hit the edge.
Oh, fuck.
You can't hit the edge of the child, otherwise it beats.
All right. Okay, I'm going in for the little boot.
Sorry, just a student here. Quick
yes.
question. I'm
Yes.
observing. Thank you. Are you going for the one that's shaped like bread or the one that's shaped like the apple with the bite out of it?
No, I am going for the little boot.
Little boot. Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, it's one of the easier ones to start with.
Okay, I'm going to ignore that comment. All right, going in for the little boot.
The nose lit up red.
Okay.
Sorry, it's gonna be another surgeon's turn now.
Okay.
If you hit the side,
Dr. Wu, I'll take over
Okay.
from here. It'll be your turn again in a minute.
Okay, you got it. Thank you.
Going for the slice of bread.
Holy shit, you crushed it. Oh my god.
Wow, maybe I should be the lead surgeon.
We cut to the kids' parents in the cafeteria. I wonder how it's going in there.
couldn't. I hope good.
I hope good too.
We all hope good.
I mean, obviously, hope good.
You know, it's just he got all that stuff inside of him.
Yeah.
It's his fault for swallowing that little boot
And that little wishbone.
and that little piece of bread.
And the butterfly. There's a butterfly in there.
Yeah.
And that little red bulb that he stuck up his nose.
Yeah.
That's on him. And it's going to be a learning experience for our son. Our
All I have to
collective
say-
son.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God I'm married into this family and he doesn't have any of my genes.
Yeah, you've got tiny hands.
Yeah.
What? They're what? No. These hands are economical.
It's fine.
Did anybody get the meatloaf?
Yeah, I got a piece.
How is it?
It's soggy.
It's soggy.
Yeah, it's soggy.
Oh, can I have a bite?
Yeah, sure.
Super wet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you like it because
Can I have another bite?
Yeah, I guess you like it because you're a competitive eater.
Yeah, all my food I eat drenched in water from a cup.
Excuse me. Are you little Beaglehoffer's parents?
That's right.
Yes, that's right. All of us.
I'm Dr. Stern.
Thank you, Dr. Stern.
And I just wanted to let you guys know that we successfully removed the toast.
Oh,
That's such a
wonderful.
relief.
Yeah. And they're currently working on the boot because it's not like me to admit fault in any sort of surgery, but
We cut back to the room, the operating room. Fuck.
Okay, Mr. Dr. Wu, you have 2 strikes.
you can step
No,
down.
I can.
You can step down at any moment.
No, I can get it. I can get it.
It's been 3 hours. We should really let this kid come back.
Oh my God, is he waking up
No,
right now?
just give him more
Dr. Wu,
morphine.
he's fine now. We can close him up. We don't need to keep going.
No, I said pump him up full of morphine. I gotta do this.
I know, I didn't like when you put the boot back. I said, Dr. Wu, that's not appropriate. That's not what we're doing here.
We cut to med school. All right, students, it's your final exam. Everyone gather around.
Okay.
The first move is going to be, and let's spin the dial. All right, right foot on green.
Oh, man, okay.
Tough one.
I've been studying for this.
Okay. My right foot's placed.
Right foot on green.
Yeah. All right. Looks like we've got about 50% of the class right foot on green. The other 50%, not going to be doctors.
They're out.
Oh, fuck. Damn it.
You
My
guys,
ace shoots and ladders.
you guys should have studied Twister.
Oh,
Another spin.
gonna be a Candyland doctor.
Oh no. You're going to be working on gumdrops for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's humiliating.
This one's going to be tough. Looks like we've got left hand on blue.
Oh.
Lainey, we've been studying every night for this, okay?
Okay, we can get there. We can get there.
These late nights, those late nights were for this moment.
Together.
Together.
1,
2,
2,
2, 3.
Wait, I think there's a ratatouille on their heads.
What?
Oh, he's gonna sabotage the whole game.
Well, no, he's helping them.
I didn't even know that thing was up there.
He's not helping you with Twister. He just makes me calm.
I'm going to have to include both of those sets, or Nico's going to seem insane.
Everyone's gonna come up to you on the street and think I'm obsessed with cum.
Are you two dating? And how obsessed is
Nico with cum?
Thanks, Old Milk. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having us. This was so fun.
Oh my God, I had a blast. Thank you. My little way to get to play with everybody.
Oh.
Anything you want to plug individually or as a group?
I'll plug my own podcast.
Yeah, please do.
But this is the don't laugh.
Do it.
Listen to my other podcast, Girls Off the Rails. Me and my best friend talk about theme park rides and major IP experiences, and some of the Milkies have been on. And we'll have the rest of them on soon.
I'm also really glad you gave context, because after those sets, just saying I have a podcast, Girls Off the Rails.
Yes, yeah.
Also,
Yeah, go ahead.
also follow Old Milk on Instagram at Old Milk Improv. We are performing like a ton right now, so you can
and posting a lot of good Instagram content.
yeah, there's some edits on
You
there.
wouldn't believe how much we're performing right now.
You wouldn't freaking believe it.
Yeah, and that'll be evergreen because might take a minute to come out. So you'll always be performing a lot.
Yeah.
It's true.
What else? Anything else? Yeah,
I was
please,
gonna
everything,
say,
anything.
You can follow me on Instagram at Wake Up with Jacob.
Same handle.
You can see us do improv at We Improv.
That's true. You can do that.
That's true.
You can see us perform at UCB with Bitchin.
What? They replaced me?
With Old Milk.
All of Old Milk.
And our killer indie team, Putty.
Oh, that's very nice. People are going to be like, he's got them plugging his stuff. Monster.
You can catch my Instagram, Nico Thiel, and you can find my website, MickeyWoo.com.
Oh, okay, great.
Your Instagram is Nico Thiel. Your website is MickeyWoo.com.
Yeah.
You can also read my book, Elevator Farts.
That's
And you can watch you can subscribe to my YouTube, Nico Thiel.
And what's your website though?
I assume it's nicothiel.com, and you can also watch Gunk on YouTube and Gunk TV.
Gunk
And-
TV? YouTube?
We have some sets from our cage match on there.
I wonder if Gunk will still be winning Cage Match by the time this comes out.
Again, evergreen.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, saying it can only be a good and not jinxing thing. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Cut to when this podcast comes out. Improv doesn't exist anymore.
Anything else?
I was going to say you can find me at Sky Zone Alhambra.
Catherine, you want to do a bit?
She's cooking. Hang on. Hang on one sec.
She's going to get one.
Her eyes are closed.
Here it comes.
She's wincing. Focus.
She scrunched like you just ate lemon.
Her teeth are out now.
Follow
It's a good start.
on Instagram,
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Lainey.
Perfect.
Just Lane.
We don't know who that is, but
Thanks, Old Milk. This was a blast.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
Bye.
bye.
Long time
Thanks so much for listening to Wimpy. We Improv Makes Podcast for you with me, Jake Moore. I hope you enjoyed it. I've only recorded 2 of these. One I stumbled through, but I'm going to leave it in. And let's see if I stumble through this one. I want to shout out Lisa Gilroy for letting me use her music. That was truly awesome. She's the best. And I want to thank my guests who took time to interview with me. And I want to shout out the teams who came down and improvised and let me play with them. You all have made my life much, much better. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in classes and shows, you can check out weimprov.org or follow us on Instagram at weimprov. We also have merchandise. Get a hat, get a shirt, get a hoodie. If you want exclusive merchandise, you can join Premium memberships for as little as $10 a month. And check out my book, Elevator Farts. It's exercises, offers, and notes of encouragement for improvising. I think it's pretty great. Small. I call it a lap book. Fits on your lap. Keep it in your back pocket. Take it to your improv class. Say, Jake says to do it differently. They'll say, who the fuck is he? And you'll go, good point. And you can just put it in one of those tiny free libraries. This has been Wimpy. I've been Jake. You've been wonderful. Ta-ta.